In this video, I'm going to show you a disturbing video of a public school in one of the most conservative states in America is sexually indoctrinating children. And I'm also going to show how the entertainment industry is sexually indoctrinating your children. And stick around until the end of this video where I'm going to show you how a new Biden executive order on discrimination is going to change the fabric of this country forever. Howdy y'all, I'm Brylan. So it's no secret that public schools are essentially spiritual graveyards. One of the most damaging things that you can do, in my humbled opinion, is to send a child to a public school. They have declared all-out war on morality. Public schools have declared that God has no right within their walls, and that your children are now their children, and they will listen and submit to the God of self, and your children will be given over to a depraved mind, whether you like it or not. That's why it is so extremely important that parents continue to fight against the agenda being pushed in public schools today. And just in the entertainment industry, if you saw my last video, I show multiple examples of how every kid's show essentially today is pushing a sexual agenda on children. Nothing is safe anymore. We must use discernment and see that the best for our children isn't necessarily what's always been the normal. The Daily Grace Company is a wonderful company. They have Bible study guides, they have pens and highlighters, they have journals, they have prayer cards, verse cards, Bibles. They just put out their most requested Bible study ever, and it's on the book of Esther. It's 50% off right now. If you use our link in the description below, it helps us out. It costs you nothing, but it will help us out. Hey, would you consider hitting that subscribe button and being a part of this community? I would love that. And please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. You know, when you like this video, YouTube pushes it out to more people, and it would help really spread this message. In Romans 1, starting in verse 18, check out what it says on God's wrath on unrighteousness. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who suppress the truth in unrighteousness, because what may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shown it to them. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. People are without excuse. There is no saying, I didn't know, because the very creation of God, the earth, the mountains, the trees, humans, animals, everything, look out into the skies and see the vastness of the universe, declares the truth of God as creator. We are without excuse if we deny God. And God created us male and female. And there is no excuse for trying to change that or trying to add to that. The very nature of God's creation, male and female, is evident. And the truth is there that there is only two. So all this expansion of what God created and trying to change different genders goes against the very nature of what people inherently know to be true. So this isn't done out of ignorance. It's done out of a hatred for truth and a hatred for God. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts. In their foolish hearts were darkened. You see, people were given up even more to a darkened heart. They will be given up more and more and more until, as you go down here to verse 28, where it says, God gave them over to a debased mind. This debased word right here, or depraved, is meaning that people have no ability anymore to discern right from wrong. They have been given over to their sin in such a way that there is no return. And it says down here in verse 32 that such things are deserving of eternal separation from God. And then it says this about those who profess to be the wisest among us. It says, professing to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and birds and four-footed animals and creeping things. Man loves to make God in the image of self. If I can change God to look more like me and act more like me, the more I can justify my depravity, the more I can justify my wickedness, because God is exactly who I am. Verse 24 says, therefore God also gave them up to uncleanliness in the lust of their hearts to dishonor their bodies among themselves, who exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshiped and served the creature rather than the Creator. There is no sacredness or reverence of God anymore. And instead, we are turning what God has created into an abomination. We are saying that what God created wasn't good enough. It wasn't final. So us as man have created a God in our own image that says we have redefined what creation is, and we instead are becoming the creator. And we are doing things with our bodies that is dishonorable before God. And there will become a time when the entirety of society is given over to a depraved mind, and there will be no return unless we stand and fight for the truth and stay steadfast in God's word. We can pray absolutely that God will have mercy on our country, on his people, and allow for a revival and a reinstitution of a desire to honor God in all areas of our society. I believe God can do that. It doesn't mean that he will, but I pray that he does. So here's a school in Tennessee called Tennessee Tech, one of the most popular schools in Tennessee, investigating disturbing campus mocking Christianity in front of kids. So this is just one example. I'm going to show you another example here in just a second after going over this one. But Tennessee Tech University is investigating a recent on-campus drag show that allegedly mocked Christianity and exposed kids to explicit activity. The school's president has canceled 2 similar upcoming shows, saying he is disturbed and dismayed. I will say that it's encouraging that the president of the school saw this and said that he's disturbed and dismayed by it. He didn't just, curl up in a ball of fear and give in to this. We need to take a stand and stop being afraid of being canceled. Say, no, you're not going to do this anymore. You're not going to indoctrinate children, and don't apologize for it. Here's the actual video of what was going on at that school. I'm going to play a little bit of it for you. And I can't play the sound because they are playing music. The song that's actually being played when you're watching this, keep this in mind, it's a song called, I believe it's called Take Me to Church. And it's an absolute blasphemous song that talks about, it's mocking church and mocking God. And as you can see, here he is coming out on stage. Do you see this little kid in the corner over here handing him money? And then the moms as well. You see the mothers come up of these children. Several parents come up with the children. There's no fear of the mothers of God, of what this is going to do to their children. It's look at this. Now look at this outfit that this guy is wearing in front of these children as these parents with their children come up and hand him money. This is this is absolutely disturbing. Yeah, I mean, I can't. Okay, we're done. I can't look at it anymore. But do you see? Is this not disturbing to you? Does this not send shivers down your spine? Does this not send the fear of God into your heart and your mind? I don't even know the words anymore. And then you have a video that shows children dancing for money at RuPaul's Drag Queen convention. It is absolutely disturbing. I'm not going to play any clips from this video because it's disgusting. So this is something that just happened a couple months ago, and there was a video that came out at this convention right here that shows children dancing for money, the sexualization of children in this. And then you have things like this, where Virginia's largest school district reviews rule suspending students for dead naming, which is basically if children don't use the preferred pronouns of other students, then the student that didn't submit to the God of diversity, the student that didn't submit to using the preferred pronouns of another student would get suspended and essentially maybe have their whole academic career, all their schooling potentially ruined and be blacklisted from future education because they didn't submit. Now the pressure is being put on our kids, not just us as parents. The pressure is being put on your kids at schools. This Virginia school district isn't the only one that's doing this or that has done this. This is just an example that was very, very recent. We have to know that this isn't going to end. We must speak out against this and stand on God's truth. And we must be in the Word of God each and every day for ourselves so that we can know what we're defending. And then the cherry on top of everything is Biden's expansion of Title IX to add LGBT discrimination. The Biden administration first announced its intention to make changes to the landmark civil rights law banning discrimination in educational programs. The U.S. Department of Education compiled a fact sheet summarizing the changes it intended to make to Title IX, which included the effort to protect LG students from discrimination based on their orientation, their identity, and their characteristics. Specifically, the regulations would make clear that preventing someone from participating in school programs and activities consistent with their identity would cause harm in violation with Title IX. So now it is becoming something that will no longer be able to be fought against. It is something that will become the rule of law. And it's going to put pressure on your children to submit at school unless they're not at a public school to have to submit to. That's why things like homeschooling and finding homeschooling groups, all the while they are spending 8 hours every single day of their entire childhood around people that hate God and hate truth. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is getting so out of hand. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I would love to hear from you on a regular basis. Hit that thumbs up button as well. When you like this video, YouTube pushes it out to more people. So would you help me spread this message? And if you feel led to want to donate to this channel, there's a little money icon under this video. Your support would help us to continue to put out content on a regular basis. But please never feel pressure to give ever. All right, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.